for me has always been the weak link, I think. And so, but I've gotten good at it, I think, finally. Maybe 2 years, maybe the last 2 years, and then that's it. So anything I look at previously, I'm really kind of horrified by. You know, the past, I don't know, I'm actually getting to the point where I'm a little bit happy, even if I go back 3 years, I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. But anything prior to that, visually, I see all the mistakes. And it's good, I've really figured a lot out visually. In the writing part of it, I think I've been on a pretty slow, and I mean not slow, a pretty steady and even accelerated trajectory. I mean, I think I started out with some good ideas about how to write, and got better at it, and so I think when I look at my early work and cringe, it's more often about the drawings and a little bit about noticing what I didn't understand about the writing at the time that I wish I had, but that's not as cringeworthy, like, oh, I wish I had read that novel or that book on storytelling before I wrote this story, because I would have been a little bit smarter. But even still, I can see the adventurousness in the writing, and I'm usually pleased. The problem now is working in comic strips is a real double. It's problematic in that it is very joke-centric, and I hate jokes.
That's ironic.
I know, and what I like humor. I really like humor, and I like being funny, but I hate jokes. And so I try and avoid them while still being humorous, and it's not easy. And so I find that one of the things, I need to get better at is, to some degree, joke writing. And I'm doing that very reluctantly. And I'm trying to do it intelligently. When I do just write a joke, I try and let it be at least well-crafted, if not better, or more significant than just a joke. But frankly, I'd rather just be amusing. I think amusing's cooler than
And having a punchline,
yeah,
like a specific laughing
so
point.
long as something else is in there that's actually feeding the reader somehow. Can I smell macaroni and cheese?
Yeah, I smell that too. It smells really good.
So I think, I don't know. I think I answered that.
I think you did. On your website, you had like a little tiny little sentence about how you helped promote the new $20 bill from the U.S. Treasury.
I did, and the 50, and didn't work on the 5. I worked on the 10, 100. Anyway, definitely the 20 and the 50. I was working for an agency at the time, and that's where I got most, if not all, of my experience in the sort of advertising world and sort of seeing how that works. But I was working at an agency that had the contract to promote the $20 bill, and when it launched, and that was a big deal. That was very big deal, because that was the new bill. It was going to have color. We had a lot to do, and it involved, you know, part of the organization, part of the company is involved in like setting up events. So they had an event in Times Square and probably hundreds of places around the country, and what I did was a lot of work in Flash, animating what the $20 bill looks like when you flip it around and you hold it up to the light. But then I also designed in some cases, co-designed in other cases, 2 or 3 games for kids that were about the bill. And almost always they were basically just systems for getting information to children about like how to spot a counterfeit, you know. But you know, it was like, oh, this one's a puzzle, this one's a maze, and this one's a blah blah blah, and it's all about like telling kids over and over again how to spot a counterfeit $20 bill. Oh, and a CD-ROM that had some crossover with the games, but those were all animated with goofy things. And yeah, that was like a year of my life, definitely, and spent doing that. And a little, like I said, a little bit of the 50, but the 20 was a big thing. It was fun. I mean, it was good creative work. What?
Unique thing to have in your, I don't know, like your resume, or just like a little check on like the list of life.
It's a, you know, I mean, most people on the, well, I didn't design the currency, but most everybody knows what the $20 bill, you know, knows